Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to my another Thursday night live stream, Go with the Flow. I'm sure, dear viewers, you're having fantastic time in your place. It must be midnight in many Asian countries and early morning in Australia, New Zealand, and those areas like Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand. But it's only 9 o'clock in the UK. And late afternoon in the North and South America and Canada. So dear viewers, as you might be aware that these lessons are time controlled and only my subscribers are able to join here and hop on. But you have got the opportunity as well. Hallo has now given offer for 2 free lessons for each and every new starter who has got this green sprouts like Abdus. Welcome. Okay, and that's really amazing. I suggest you better grab the opportunity if you want to have a good experience from any teacher. And bear in mind that, guys, the more you practice with the teacher, the more you'll be confident. Your motivation would be increased. Your inspiration would be, heightened. All right. So, what do you learn from this lesson? Basically, this class is based on the student's demand. If a student joins here, if they have a request, I can discuss the topic. It could be English grammar, it could be any IELTS tricks, or it could be any vocab, or it could be any basic British IPA. And those are my expertise, which I've been teaching on this for the last 2 years. So I'd like to show you my old schedules. Bear me a moment, please. So guys, these are my classes. Go with the Flow TN, which is Thursday night 9 p.m. my time. Go with the Flow FM, which means Friday morning 6:30. Okay, and let me scroll down the other classes. So English practice Friday and Saturday 8 p.m. Then speaking practice and phonetics Wednesday and Friday night 10 p.m. Then ITS B1 Sunday and Saturday morning 6:30 a.m. IELTS B2 Sunday and Saturday morning 8 a.m. Then grammar and phonetics lesson Sunday, Monday 9 p.m. And then IELTS speaking and sessions B1 Monday and Tuesday morning 6:30 a.m. Hello, Hanu, welcome. And then grammar and phonetics practice Tuesday, Wednesday 9 p.m. And after that, IELTS speaking and writing sessions B2 every Wednesday and Thursday 6:30. So these are the lessons I conduct every week. And if I count, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lessons every week. And more or less, almost every lesson has got similarities because this app has been designed and developed for English learning, and that's our primary focus should be. It's better to learn something which might be helpful for you, academic life, maybe in your uh, career progression or professional life, or maybe you want to be a good speaker, you like to develop your communication skill. You have to just develop them. Okay. But the common and major problem is that most of the time students ask me, how can they learn vocabs? How can they be a good speaker or fluent speaker? Dear viewers and listeners, bear in mind that it depends on you because it's a matter of practice. And disclaimer, if you like to be a good speaker, you must have at least some minimum education. It happened to me as well. I got few students who didn't know how to read and write, and I had really difficulties for them to explain something. And I understood when I asked them to read, and they couldn't read it well. And later I realized that it is beyond my capacity to teach someone who doesn't have any basic knowledge of education. So disclaimer everyone, once again, if you would like to learn English, you must have some basic education through which you can read. Okay, you can read or you can write or you can practice speaking to other person. All right, so today we are going to discuss chunk English. Do you know what is chunk English? I don't know if someone is watching my live stream or not, because it's a subscriber lesson. Only the newbies are allowed, like the people who have got that green sprout beside their name. Let us practice today chunk English. So what is chunk English? Chunks are groups of words that can be found together in language. They can be words that always go together, such as fixed collocations, or that commonly do, such as certain grammatical structures that follow rules. Learners can be encouraged to identify and record lexical and grammatical chunks as they find them. Areas of work such as idioms, collocations, and verb patterns all focus on types of chunks. Okay, we have got the amazing word collocation. So what do you understand by the word collocation? Collocation is the natural process of English word that can take another word as a part of their, structure, I should say. Okay. I'm going to give an example so that you'll be able to understand. For example, we don't say lions shout. What does a lion do? Lions roar like "Arr!" So lions roar is a collocation. Similarly, babies cry. Okay, and sometimes, as they have mentioned, phrasal verbs could be a collocation. Or okay, like cut down, depending on the context. Listen to, you say subscribe to. Okay, there are different kinds of collocations. We'll discuss collocation in another lesson. So that's the basic idea how collocations are formed and how it works. And similarly, some common collocations are making mistakes. Do not ever use do mistake. It is make mistake. It's a collocation. Similarly, make a cup of tea, or make the bed. Bed. Bad. Remember, bed and bad has a different sound. This is bad. This is bed. What time do you go to bed? Oh, are you a bad guy? Remember, longer sound, and bad. Similarly, if any word has this style of pronunciation ad and there is another letter before that, it should follow as sound but long as, like sad, lad, mad, bad, dad. Okay, so guys, remember that sounding correctly is very important in English language if you want to be a good speaker, especially if you like to be a teacher anywhere in a professional app or any this our app or any other app or any other place where people will assess your quality of English. They like to listen to you. Remember that accent is not important, but pronunciation, sounding a word correctly. You can sound a word correctly only if you know how to pronounce it, how to stress on the right syllable. Okay, which is very important. All right, so chunk English is also part of idioms, collocation, and verb patterns. I've eaten some of them today. You see, this is one of them. I see what you mean, but. So we have to understand when to use but. Okay, use generally but, which is a coordinating conjunction, when we change the meaning of a sentence, when it goes to different directions. So I see what you mean. But I don't say agree with you or it. I see what you mean, but I don't agree with you or agree with it. Okay, so this in this chunk English, we need to realize that I see what you mean is the main chunk English of word, and when you're using but, only in that time our meaning is changing, our meaning is going a different direction, it's giving a different impact of our learning. Okay, so I have to explain a little bit more when we use but. Just give me a moment, guys. Hello, Ali, welcome. Hello, Rajani, welcome. Thanks for joining here. Oops. Sorry. Okay, Alice, I see what you mean. I don't have to join your opinions. Join is not the correct word. Okay, Ali? We don't say that I don't join your opinion. You can say I agree or disagree. So you need to understand content. Using right vocab is the important part of English learning. Otherwise, it would be meaningless, gibberish. Okay. Mustafa says, nice conversation. I'm not having conversation with anyone. I'm talking to myself. You guys are just simply listeners. But if you're interested, you can sign on here. Free lessons. All of you are eligible to get free lesson. Do you know that? What you have to do, you have to go to my profile and join the free lessons. This one. I don't have to agree your opinion. That is also incorrect too, Ali. Because after agree, we have to use a preposition. Depending on the content of the next word, we use agree with, agree to, agree against. Okay. So that is the important part when we learn English. It's better to learn it correctly so that you can use it correctly, you can write it correctly. Okay, so I see what you mean, but I don't agree with you, or I tend to disagree with you. There is another way they write it here. Or you can say, I don't. You or your point. I No problem, Ali. Okay. So using a but can be used as a conjunction, coordinating conjunction. And I'm sure, guys, when you have studied grammar in school, you know conjunction is a part of speech. So from the name conjunction, it is quite understandable that with this word but you can join, it works like a junction, breezing. Okay, so it is better to know how we can use it. I'm going to give you examples, guide. But and this but is when you use as a conjunction or parts of speech, we can make compound sentences. Okay, guys, like she's very hardworking but not very imaginative, for example. Okay, I'm going to write it so you know that very hardworking but not very imaginative. All right, and next one is uh, this is not caused by evil but by simple ignorance. This play is good, but not that good. I've seen better. Okay, so the play is good, but not that good, as I've seen better. You see, when we are using but as a preposition, conjunction, I meant to say, not preposition, it changes the meaning. And for example, very often you use, you said that you're leaving, but why? Okay, so Let me write it. You said you are leaving. You're leaving, but why? Okay. So this is another use of but as a conjunction. And we can use this pattern not only but also. Like Janie is not only a singer but also a keyboard player. Okay. Oh, there's a spelling mistake. So Jennifer is not only a singer but also a keyboard player. Okay, so these are some of the examples as conjunction. So what are the other use of but? By the way, but can be used as a preposition. For example, I'll go anywhere for my holiday but New York. Okay, so let's go with the example of preposition. So this is as a conjunction, yeah. Now as a preposition. So I'll go anywhere on holiday. Okay. But New York. So here but means except New York. Okay. And there is another example. My friend likes nothing but chocolate cake. Nothing but chocolate cake. Okay. So this is another example of preposition. And there is another common expression very often we use it. But I have come to the class. Okay. Okay, sorry. I have to write these two sentences here. Preposition. None but I have come to the class. So here, but has been used as preposition, guys. Okay. Remember, using a word on the correct context is very important in English learning. If you know a word, if you don't know how to use it, then it's very much likely for you that you're going to use it correctly. So it's better for you when you start learning a word, when you know about a word, you need to know the meaning and how it can be used. Okay. All right. Sometimes we use but for together as a preposition. For example, but for your generosity, I wouldn't have been able to go to America. Okay, let me write it. But for your generosity, I would not have been able to go to the USA. All right. So, I'm a bit tired. So these are some of the examples, guys, using but in different cases. Another amazing example is but for his broken leg. In the earlier part of season, he couldn't play football for his team, or he couldn't play cricket for his team. So let's assume football or cricket both. Okay. All right, guys. So these are some of the examples. But now our next chunk English is by the way. What does it mean, guys? By the way. By the way. By the way is used generally when you're introducing new subject, or you like to give new information for your listener. Okay, when you're introducing new subject or new information. By the way, have you ever been to New York? Or you can say, by the way, have you ever been to Disneyland? By the way, have you watched the movie The Slumdog Millionaire? Or by the way, have you watched any of the James Bond movies? Okay, so you're giving new information, and uh, you just use by the way. Between both tenses use often. I didn't get you, Ali. What do you mean by that? Often. So, by the way, oh, by the way, my name is Rahat Ali. If you haven't seen me before, or if you haven't met me, I'm one of the part-time teachers of this app from England. I was not born here, guys. I migrated here quite a while ago, 18 years ago, from Middle East. But I was born in Bangladesh, okay? It is a long route to come here, different way. So this is just an example, guys, by the way. By the way, I heard that Hallo is changing a lot. We're getting new features almost every few months. All right, guys, so these are some of the examples, by the way. And the next one is, let me write the example. My name is, you can say this. Okay, so next one is sort of. Sort of. Sort of. What does it mean, sort of? Okay, basically this is an informal use of English, but still accepted in written English and spoken English sometimes. I mean to say spoken English, it can be used, all the informal expressions, but it may be used in written English depending on the quality of exam. Sort of. For example, I was sort of hoping to leave the live stream early, or I was hoping, I was sort of hoping to finish the live stream early today because I want to make it a public live stream. It's a sort of silly, but I like a copy of the photograph, for example. And very often you use this sentence, I reckon he's sort of a crooked guy who is dishonest in many features. Okay. So guys, let me continue a little bit more, because no one has subscribed to this lesson, unfortunately. Next one is mind you. That could be an easy sentence. Mind you. What does it mean, mind you? Mind you. Okay, so mind is most, mostly we use in British English. Okay. So mind you is on the other way, to use when you say on the other hand. Mind you. For example, I know I'm lazy, but I did go swimming yesterday. Mind you. So it's used when you want to make what you have just said sound less strong. Hello, Nitin, welcome. Used for attracting attention. Yes, I'm tired. I want to finish this lesson quickly. Thursday night here. I'll continue 4 minutes and then I'm going to finish this. So mind you is mostly used meaning that when you're less stressing about saying something. For example, the previous example, I know I'm lazy, but I also do go swimming sometimes, mind you. That means I'm just letting you know. Okay. In Greater London, in public transportation, there is a very common dialogue: mind the gap. Mind you, mind the gap. Yeah. That means be careful. There is a difference between the train and the platform, and there is a gap. Okay, next one. That's very common, you see. This is very common chunk word because people very often use it. I have heard many people using and repeatedly. You know what? You know what? Yeah. You see, it's kind of a filler. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do now. You know when they're coming. You know about the movie, don't you? You can use it in thousands of different ways. Like okay. It's not easy to become successful in life without hard work, focus, studying, perseverance, and consistency. You have to be well bent sometimes and organized, always. Okay? Or you can say, you know what I mean. You know what is the person is going to do next. You know all the situation. You know about yourself. You know more about yourself than anyone else. Okay, so these are some examples, guys. All right. So once again, guys, you are listening to my soliloquy dialogue and explanation about some of the chunk English, and very often we use this chunk English in speaking as well as in writing. Bear in mind, guys, practice is the magic word for your development, your English language to the next level, and there is no shortcut, there is no quicker method, or there is no easy method. The more you practice, the more you will be confident, the more you will be inspired by yourself, and you will feel that something is changing inside you. You are moving forward, slowly though. Okay, remember that slow and steady win the race. It is better to make a plan and focus and move forward. Don't hope that you're going to learn English overnight. It will take time. It's like a sort of comparing you're going to the gym when you do exercises every day and you get the result after a few months. Likewise, when you're learning English, you're going to get the result after a few months. And the best way to learn and develop yourself is you have to give time to it, you have to enjoy it. Reading, writing, speaking, listening all together. All right, that's all for today, guys. Thank you very much. You take care and bye. I hope to see you when I see you, or in my next public live stream. Okay. Until then, you take care, be healthy, and stay safe. Bye.